Hey guys, this is day 7 of Mental Health Awareness Week. This is the final day of the week, but I'll still be pushing mental health after this, just not quite as much that way. We push it every day. The hashtag is hashtag MHAW15. So what I'm going to be doing today is, to be honest, I hope that you found the videos that I put out this week helpful. If not, tell me down below. Tell me how you wanted me to improve them, how you thought they were good, how you thought they weren't good. And I hope that if you did find them useful, I'll post all the links probably on the screen somewhere, and I'll post them all down in the description below as well. But in case you don't want to sort of watch all the videos, because some of them are quite long, I'll just do a quick recap. And so on Monday, when I started the week, I talked mainly about mindfulness and what mindfulness means, because that was the topic of the week, chosen by the Mental Health Foundation, who run Mental Health Awareness Week. And mindfulness is, according to this website, which I said in Monday's video, so go check it out if you want, but there's an ABC to mindfulness. The A stands for awareness, so you become more aware of what you're feeling, or you see someone else and it's oh okay, I'm now aware of the symptoms of mental disorders that you could be suffering, are you okay? Those sort of things. And what I found from personal experience is generally, if people ask are you okay, people that are suffering, or just generally anyone, will say yeah, I'm fine, just because that's the accepted thing and almost the expected thing for people to say. But also other reasons that people say it, that they're fine when they're not, is that it's quick, it's simple, generally people won't ask many questions. I mean, for me, is people, usually family members, but I've had my friends say it a little bit recently, is you haven't seen yourself recently, are you okay? And I'll say, yeah, I'm fine. And it's they've said, you're not really convincing me. And then I'll just try and almost force them to believe that I'm happy, even if I'm not, just because it's easier. So just be aware of that. If you if you are asking people if they're okay, don't over push it, because they'll get annoyed and say that they're okay, more just to get you to stop. The B is for just being, you're just being here, but you're not living, you're not really enjoying life, you're just putting up with it. You're there in person, but you're not really wanting to be there, you're not enjoying being there. So I know a lot of people will do that at school, is they'll turn up to lessons, be there, but they don't really want to be there. They're not there in mind, they're not living in that lesson, they don't want to be there, they try and distract out of that quite a lot. Is the C is for seeing things and responding in a wiser way because of it. And that links back to A. It's but now wiser because you know more about mental health awareness, and you are more aware of it. So you then respond in easier ways, or you approach things slightly differently now. And on Tuesday I talked about depression and the different forms of that. So you've got major depressive disorder, dysphagia, I think I say that, where it's not a full-blown depressive episode. So it's a milder version, but it lasts for longer, 2 years generally to get a diagnosis in adults, 1 year in children and adolescents. You got seasonal affective disorder, which generally affects people in the winter, but not always. The fact that you don't have to be depressed 24/7, 365 to get a diagnosis, is it just has to be for a majority of the day, a majority of the time. 1 in 4 people will experience depression at in any given year, at any given time in their life. And generally, people that don't experience it themselves know someone who is or has experienced it. On Wednesday, as I talked about anxiety, and sort of touched on how depression and anxiety link. They're the most common combined illnesses, affecting almost 10% of people. And in fact, the 36% of people, that's over a third of people, who have like anxiety disorders, they have the symptoms for over 10 years before getting any help, before seeking help for it, which is shocking. Like, that's terrible. On the 14th, on Thursday, as I talked about self-harm, and technically I class eating disorders as self-harm, but diagnostically speaking they're not the same, like they don't count, is they can like coexist, sort of like where they interjoin, or like usually what happens is one will replace the other, so it's like, okay, in order to stop my eating disorders or self-harm, so that I don't I'll eat more, but then I'll then self-harm because I feel guilty that I'm eating more, or sort of like, okay, because I'm self-harming, is you then don't bother about eating. CBT and DBT are usually the most commonly used techniques to help with that, but like if you've left it for a long time, is the people that you seek for help, they might start you off at a more severe level, but generally you start CBT or DBT with that, different forms of self-harm and whatever. And then on Friday, as I talked about bipolar, how you got like different forms. Have you got 1, 2, NOS, the different cycles, and you can have rapid cycles, you can have slow cycles. Bipolar in general affects about 5.7 million Americans, which is about 26% of the US population that are adults, or 26% of the US adult population. Yesterday I talked about dissociative disorder or multiple personality disorder, which can make it like hard to concentrate because you're flicking between the different people, sort of like you dissociate out of one, becoming another, you dissociate out of that and like can go into another or come back to your original. And what I realised about bulimia is, like, generally it's a binge and purge thing, so you sort of like a binge with a lot of like eating a lot of food in a short space of time, and then you purge it back up. Sorry about the confusion that I had with that yesterday. Generally you feel compelled to do stuff because you're not in control of it. So I'll probably sped over a lot of that, but if you want sort of like more in-depth things, I'll put the links to the videos separately on this page, or like here, but I'll also put them all down below separately, so go check them out. I hope that they're all helpful in some way. Thank you for watching. Even if you only watch like one of my videos, you watch all of them, thank you. It means so much to me. The hashtag again, if you want to find out more about mental health awareness week, is hashtag MHAW15. Yeah, sorry if this sounds a bit rushed, just in general, but yeah, hopefully this week was helpful. Hopefully you now want to help people become more aware of mental health yourself. And yeah, that's all I've got to say for the week. Check back next week, or I'll be back on a normal schedule, hopefully trying to put out 2 videos a week, probably covers. But yeah, bye, peace. Hopefully this was helpful. Probably not, but oh well. Bye.